Comcast Cablevision Channel 43 presents high school soccer. Today, it's the Clayton Clippers taking on the Palmyra Panthers in South Jersey Group 1 playoff action. Hello again, everyone. Rob Christ along with my partner Mark Narducci. And Mark, we have an absolutely beautiful spring afternoon here. It's like springtime in November, reaching close to 70 degrees today, hopefully. Well, we have two teams coming into this matchup. Very young teams, Mark. Clayton comes in perhaps with an emotional boost, getting back one of their key players. And on the other side of the coin, Palmyra, the higher seed, of course, getting the home field advantage. Yeah, and interesting about this, in South Jersey Group 1, Rob, there are no dominant teams as far as a real heavy favorite. Obviously, Shalleck, the top seed, is going to be heard from. Haddon Township, a very good team. But both of these teams think that they can be competitive with either of those two. We'll find out here today. Well, the other day, we watched a West Deptford and Delran matchup where West Deptford really missed a key player. On the other side of the coin here, Clayton gets one of their key players back. That will make all the difference in the world. Well, that's Nick Ambrosius you're talking about, the senior striker. He broke his arm on October 4th against Gloucester Catholic. They thought he was done for the year. This will be his first action back. Now, with him in the lineup, Clayton was 8-3-1 without him, 1-7. So they really missed his scoring. 16 goals, 9 assists. Rob, he can really put it in the back of the net. Absolutely. On the other side of the coin, Palmyra has a player who has a name that's tough to pronounce and maybe a shot that's even tougher to stop. That's Mike Guglielmucci. Yeah, Guglielmucci, just a junior, 22 goals on the season. He also was a little bit banged up in the last game against Pemberton, got a jaw injury, but he's ready to go, Rob. And the key, I think, to this game is which of the two premier offensive players is going to come to shine, and I think whichever of those two has the better game, that team will win. Absolutely. You come into this game, you see two younger teams. It should be interesting. Their first playoff action here, and we'll be back with it right after this here on Comcast Cablevision Channel 43. Welcome back here to Palmyra High School, and as you see here, it is Palmyra in the home white with the red shorts, Clayton Clippers in the away blue with the gold trim. And we're just about to get underway here. Quarterfinal action of the South Jersey Group 1 playoffs. There on your screen for Clayton, number 4, that's John Shelson. To the back, number 3, Rich Rupert for Palmyra, and we're underway. Mark, both of these teams, as we mentioned in the open, very young. In fact, Clayton's starting with a pair of freshmen. Yeah, this is a very, very young Clayton team. In fact, last year, you remember, is they get a look at Tony Falcone. Long ball headed away. Getting a good run after there is Guglielmucci. Actually, that was a look at Steve Miller, the opposing keeper, a senior, and he is a veteran. Tony Falcone, of course, a junior starter in goal for Clayton. We'll have a throw-in here for Palmyra. That's Chris Dickinson who will do the honors. There you take a look at Tony Falcone Jr. 5 shutouts on the year. Long throw-in here. Ball headed up just past the outside of the post, and again quickly here on the throw-in, a good opportunity for Palmyra. Well, that was by Kevin Murphy, and that's no surprise. You know, he comes up from his stopper position, Rob, and this year he has 5 goals and 4 are off his head. So Murphy's going to shoot in anytime they have any kind of a situation like that. Clayton's really got to get a stronger mark on him. We have a push here. It looks like it will go the way of Clayton. In fact, Mark, most of their goals, it seems, have come through the air, according to Coach Pettigrew. They like to go through the air, whereas Clayton is a team that kind of likes to go more so on the ground. Palmyra certainly with more size than this Clayton team. Well, it's going to be interesting as we look at the opening matchups here. Justin Lewis, the junior for Palmyra, number 6, is on Ambrosius. So that's obviously going to be a real key matchup. And Ambrosius with that heavily taped wrist, as you look at Steve Miller there, 1.55 goals against average. That's obviously going to be a major matchup today. Well, one of the things that both of these teams do have today, Mark, is they have a clock on the field. course, they're not always able to take a peek at the Mark Narducci special.
Yeah, the old little stopwatch. Yeah, the other thing is, Rob, let's talk about the other end of it. Clayton is using John Andrew, who Dan Antonelli usually uses on the premier forwards. He is on Guglielmucci. So, again, two very interesting matchups. And we talked about Ambrosius and Guglielmucci making a real impact here today.
Thus far, you've seen a lot of balls in the air already, and it seems as though Palmyra thus far is out physical to Clayton. Good cross there, nothing doing, and quickly on top of it, that's Clayton's number 6, Jay King.
Clayton has to spread the field out a little bit more. There's some opening in the middle if they can get it, and there's Ambrosius right there.
Long ball trying to find number 8, Mike Green. Heading back, shot on just outside the post. Clayton trying to come up with their first good scoring chance. Well, again, one of the things that this may come down to is the physical presence of Palmyra. Again, they like the ball in the air. They're certainly a bigger team than Clayton, and we'll see if, in fact, that does play a role in the outcome.
Maybe that was Shelson that time for Clayton on the shot. Again, there is a lot of room. If you're looking here, there is a lot of room in the middle of the field, and there are some openings, and I think both teams are going to really try to capitalize on that. There's some areas where both teams can do some good things with spacing, and it's going to be an interesting contrast of styles where Clayton will try to keep it on the ground, or at least should, and Palmyra will go the other way. Now, Palmyra, again, is very dangerous in these kinds of situations. There's Chris Dickinson, the sweeper on that throw. Long throw
in again, and quickly on top of it is Clayton's goalkeeper. And one of the things that's surprising, you talked about all the room in the midfield, Mark, and speaking with Coach Mike Pettigrew of Palmyra, he said one of the weaknesses of this team is his midfield, and generally that's where games are won and lost.
Well, there's no question that's where things are controlled. And again, Clayton is having some success. If they can get that up the middle, and there's a foul that time, and it'll be a direct kick for Clayton as Billy Knowles that time took down Jay King. Now again, Rob, this is one of my pet peeves. Look how long Clayton's taking. Now, Palmyra's entire defense is set up. I'm a big believer, especially if you have a direct kick, to just get the thing right away. See, they're going far post, which is the right idea.
Good cross, aggressively on is Clayton. Little struggle for the ball, on by himself. It's Ambrosius. He hits the crossbar. Great opportunity there for Ambrosius. Could not finish, though. And that's a big opportunity for Clayton, gone by the wayside. Quickly countering now, it's Palmyra, and they'll try to create here. It's number 3, Rich Rupert. Inside again, looking, and coming up with it is the Clippers.
Well, Palmyra lost its mark that time, and Ambrosius got free. And again, here's a guy that hasn't played in a month's time, so he's going to have a little bit of rust that time, and kicked that one just a little too high to hit the crossbar.
Yeah, you have to believe that prior to the injury, that's a ball that Ambrosius is going to bury.
I have to also believe, before it's all said and done today, he is going to bury one. Now, he's playing with that right wrist bandaged up and everything, and people will say, well, no, it's no big deal. It's soccer. They play with their feet, but it is a big deal, and it does affect you when you're running and the flow and when you're moving and everything. So it's just not an easy thing for him.
Well, if you question how big of a role Ambrosius plays in this team, Clayton 1-6-1 without Ambrosius. Big play again by Ambrosius. Goes to cross, trying to find the head, and does, but that's over the crossbar. Good opportunity again there for Clayton. Creating opportunities. It's number 11, Nick Ambrosius, and it looked to be finding the head of number 8, Mike Green.
Yeah, it was Mike Green, and Mike Green has been an outstanding, done an outstanding job for the team this year as a freshman. Here's the Ambrosius look. Again, two white shirts together, Rob. Little lack of communication. The keeper's best friend, the crossbar.
In fact, that hit the underside of the crossbar, Mark, so that didn't miss by a whole lot. Again, handling it quickly here, it's Steve Miller for Palmyra. He'll try to start things in the other direction. Headed up by Jason Patton. And now the ball in the air, looking to settle here for Palmyra. That's Billy Knowles. Ball quickly sent down the wing. Nothing doing.
You know, they knew Ambrosius would score this year, but Green has come in and really helped the attack. And as a freshman, he's such a versatile player on this Clayton team. He's also the backup keeper, so he can do a lot for Coach Antonelli.
Yeah, all right, get some water, all right.
Remember last year, Clayton made the Group 1 tournament for the first time, won a first rounder, and then lost a tough 2-0 game to a Pittman team that eventually went on to win the South Jersey Group 1 title.
There's no doubt that Coach Antonelli has this program headed in the right direction, has done a fine job. Last year, the record 13-8. This year, right now, 9-10-1, below 500. But again, we talked about how well they had done prior to the absence of Nick Ambrosius. There again, we'll have a Palmyra restart. Long cross looking inside all by himself. It's number 8, and that's in. Beautiful header there by Kevin Murphy. Palmyra quickly on top, 1-0. We talked before about how the balls up in the air are a critical factor today. Palmyra has scored the bulk of their goals in the air. Another example there, Kevin Murphy coming home with a big goal to get things started. Mark mentioned before, 4 of 5 goals this season off the head of Murphy. Now make it 5 of 6.
An outstanding job by Murphy, but let's be honest, that was a serious defensive breakdown. There was not a defender anywhere near him. He was all alone standing there. Clayton will certainly have to tighten up defensively.
Good run here. Zach Lagaza looking to get on. Quickly defended here by Jason Patton. Lagaza, nice move inside. Handing the ball back now. And again, Murphy booted away by the Clayton defense. Quickly outside now for Clayton. That is Bruce McDonald. Here's a look, Mark.
Watch, you'll see no blue shirts around him. Watch this. He's standing there by himself.
And the goalkeeper on the play for Clayton did not get a good jump on that ball. You got to expect Tony.
Well, you know what Falcone thought? I think Falcone thought he was offsides and may have hesitated on that because we didn't see it from that angle, but there wasn't somebody behind him that time, so maybe Falcone thought that, but of course they always teach you have to play the whistle.
That's exactly right. Clayton now trying to get things started. Of course, they had that first real good opportunity of the game, Ambrosius hitting the crossbar. And Clayton has already demonstrated that they can generate some offense, so they should have a good game here. And they can certainly get things started quickly. We'll see if they can do that. Palmyra with the ball currently. And there you see the goal scorer. That's number 13, or excuse me, that's Billy Knowles. Quickly the other way, that's Clayton's number 9, Jim Andrew.
You know, it's interesting that Palmyra's gotten on the board, and again, now there was an offsides call that time. Palmyra's gotten on the board, and Guglielmucci really hasn't touched the ball yet. We talked about Andrew doing a tight job marking, so if Palmyra can get that kind of production from other people, I mean, that's really going to bode well for the Panthers.
Clayton again starting things here. Long ball headed away by Palmyra's number 8. That is your goal scorer, Kevin Murphy. The throw in here for number 6, Jade King of Clayton.
Well, see, you have Murphy at stopper and Dickinson at sweeper, and both of them are so tough in the air that anything up that middle, Rob, you really ought to keep it low against those guys. Clayton's not going to win too many of those balls.
Unable to be settled there by number 7, Jason Patton. Again, we'll have a throw in here. It looks to be number 2, Tony Lacera. All thrown in and knocked quickly out of bounds there by number 1, Bruce McDonald for Clayton. Long ball, McDonald will chase after it. Followed by Guglielmucci. Guglielmucci comes up with what looked like the steal. Quickly on top, though, it's Clayton. Clayton will try to counter here quickly. Good cross looking there for Ambrosius. Ambrosius cannot come up with it. Stolen away by Justin Lewis. Lewis will go forward. A little chip inside, and that will be handled easily by the goalkeeper, Falcone. Falcone with the long punt. He has 5 shutouts. Coach Antonelli talked about his tremendous work ethic, really a leader of this team, and leads by example. Good back heel there by number 9, Adam Della Penna.
That was a nice job by Della Penna. It's the only way he would have cleared that ball that time.
Quickly up again, aggressively, is Justin Lewis. Lewis with the long run, trying to find Guglielmucci, and he does come up with it through McDonald. Continuing to go forward with his left foot, shot on, knocked away by Falcone. Good shot and knocked away again. Good opportunity. Guglielmucci with an excellent shot off his left foot, Mark. That's his best foot.
Well, I'll tell you what, that just shows the explosiveness in him because he got that shot off very, very quickly that time. And that's what you've got to do when you're a striker and you're a guy like Guglielmucci that gets marked so tightly. Well, Rob, he really fired that quickly.
Credit Falcone with a tremendous save there. Guglielmucci now will take the in-swinger here.
No one has the post. No defender has the post there. And then Falcone got that on a corner kick. You want to defend that post with somebody.
Falcone will punt and get things started for Clayton. Going forward again. Ball knocked down. Ambrosius trying to get things started. Could not. Here's Palmyra's number 16, Zach Lagaza, setting things up for the Palmyra offense. Looking to cross here, trying to utilize the whole field. Instead, Clayton comes up with it.
Catch him, Rich!
Hold on the jersey here. And the Clayton coaches are up in arms, not pleased at all with the Palmyra player grabbing the shirt of Clayton's number 16, E.J. Sanders.
Well, what they're saying is they think that's a cardable offense on something like that, and they could have a point.
Ball headed up in the air. Again going forward, trying to find Ambrosius quickly. It's Murphy now. Murphy stopped on the play there by Verrecchio. Cross, trying to find Ambrosius. Kicked up in the air, volleyed, and it will be settled here. Knocked towards the middle. Ball won by Clayton, and some confusion back on the Palmyra defense. Currently, Ambrosius again slips. Otherwise, he may have had another opportunity.
Well, he did a nice job as Dan Antonelli looks on. He was trying to shield the ball that time, and had he just been able to get it a little sooner, he might have been able to make that turn.
Ball thrown in and headed away by Palmyra. Looking to settle here. A long kick off of the defense. And again, headed forward, trying to find Ambrosius. You can see they continually look to him to make things happen. Ball headed forward by McDonald, up in the air. Again, the ball continually up in the air, and that's to Palmyra's advantage.
Well, what they do is they're having Justin Lewis, number 6, on him, as we mentioned, and then a lot of times the sweeper, Dickinson, is shading in his direction, so giving it sort of like a double team. They're certainly aware of him every time he's on that field and right near the goal.
Andrew with a long throw and headed away by Murphy. Again, the ball remains in the air. Ball finally headed down here. Palmyra trying to come up with it, and they do, but it's quickly stolen here by John Andrew, and again stolen back. Clayton will try to go forward, and all for naught here, as quickly on top of it is the goalkeeper, Steve Miller.
The other thing is Clayton has to have some people running to the ball. A lot of times Ambrosius is getting it. He's getting doubled. He's got to have someone as a target to kind of give it off to and then maybe take off a little give and go.
Well, you know, Mark, I think any time in the playoffs, getting the first goal is such a huge advantage. Your team gets settled down right away. Clayton really came out, and they look to be the more settled of the two teams. But ever since that goal, it seems as though the tide has turned. Ball crossed now. Clayton trying to get things started in the other direction. A long ball trying to find Ambrosius. Ambrosius steals it away here, trying to make the inside move, and quickly on it, it is Palmyra.
See, there are 3 white shirts, no other blue shirts there. That's what I'm talking about. Clayton needs to give him some support when he's going up there that time.
Palmyra trying to come up with it. Knocked down on the play there. It's Sean Kusinski.
Yeah, Zach Lazaga that time really gave a little bit of an elbow, and they caught him. The official today, by the way, 2 veterans, John Knox and Ron Russell.
Long ball crossing, trying to use the whole field, and who's it finding? It's Ambrosius. He heads it on looking for his teammate there, but quickly on top of it is goalkeeper Steve Miller. Miller, a first-year starter, a senior. The one thing that Coach Pettigrew really likes about him, Mark, is his ability to communicate.
Miller's a very, very good athlete, baseball player here, and, you know, a senior that has really taken charge back there. Of course, Palmyra came oh so close to winning the Burlco Freedom Division. Of course, Riverside winning yesterday over West Hampton Tech, able to clinch that. But, you know, we didn't really get to talk about it, Rob, but what a great turnaround by this team in Coach Pettigrew's first year. 6-10 a year ago, and now 11-5 and in the state tournament. So the Panthers among the more improved teams in South Jersey.
That ball knocked back and forth here at midfield. Murphy comes up with it for Palmyra. Again, you see so many balls in the air. Good opportunity here. Quickly on for Palmyra. Number 4, Peter Milliner. And on top of it is goalkeeper Tony Falcone.
You know, they're calling for a PK and a foul in there. I thought it was a fine play. No problem there. And I thought a good job done by Bruce McDonald, number 1, who came back and helped out defensively for Clayton. Probably saved the goal.
Long ball here, trying to find the wing. John Shelson running after it. Palmyra able to find it.
Hey, Lewis loves that bicycle kick, doesn't he? He bicycled it to himself and then before he kicked it out of bounds.
Clayton here with the throw-in. This will be John Verrecchio. All headed away. Verrecchio again.
Wow.
Have a throw-in.
That time, John Shelson got away with one for Clayton. He did not go up for the head ball. Was low bridging a little bit. There was no call.
Jay King with the throw-in. Ambrosius on, headed up and over. But again, a good, quick shot there by Ambrosius.
Well, just as we said, as Guglielmucci can really shoot it quickly, Ambrosius obviously also has that same talent. Good job by Dickinson heading that out, because who knows if that would have gone on goal, how that would have been. So
we'll see Verrecchio taking the corner here. Verrecchio, just a freshman, with 9 goals and 14 assists. Certainly a potent part of this offense. Good in-swinger over the head, headed away there by Palmyra, but it looked like Miller may have misjudged that just a hair. Ball's quickly sent out of harm's way. A good opportunity again, Mark, for Clayton.
Yeah, it really was. Good thing it looked like Dickinson was back there to head that ball. And again, this team is too tough to beat in the air, and that time Murphy was pushed and drew the foul. The other thing about Palmyra is they're getting a lot of offense from their back line. Murphy, Dickinson, Lewis, those guys are not afraid to come up a little bit and start things. So Coach Pettigrew was maybe worrying about his midfield, but they're still getting that offensive surge from the back line of this team.
Ball sent forward again by Palmyra after a long punt by Falcone, looking for the chip, the pass to Milliner, and Milliner defended there nicely by number 3, Sean Kosinski.
That's a nice job by Kosinski that time in a one-on-one.
There you see Guglielmucci continuing to go forward. He'll try that left foot, goes inside, and it's a score! Guglielmucci using that potent left foot, and that's it. Palmyra on top now, 2-0.
Saw at the end that he tapped McDonald on the back. McDonald didn't like that, but Guglielmucci that time, what was most impressive about that play was the fact that not only that he split the 2 defenders, he scored on the short side that time, and he had very, very little room to put it in.
Well, I think as the goalkeeper, that's something that Tony Falcone has to be aware of. His best foot is his left foot, is Guglielmucci, so you really have to guard against that short side on that side of the field. Quickly on top here, it's 2-0, Palmyra. Clayton chipping, trying to go forward.
I mean, I think Falcone thought he had enough of it blocked. It took a perfect shot to get it in, but of course, Guglielmucci now with 23 goals, certainly capable of making shots like that.
Clayton will try to quickly come back, but it's Palmyra again with the long run. And brought down on the play, it's Palmyra's number 2, Tony Lucero. Let's take a look at the shot, Mark.
He just shows his burst of speed that time and continues to play it off. Now watch how he'll split 2 defenders right there. That's great ball control. There's not much room there. Look at that bad angle. And Falcone did not get over to that short side enough. He did leave too much of it open, as you could see there.
Long cross inside, trying to find number 5 for Palmyra, Chris Dickinson. This will be a goal kick for Palmyra. Or excuse me, for Clayton. Well, Clayton again, still 20 minutes remaining in this first half. Certainly by no stretch of the imagination are they out of it. It only takes a couple of quick opportunities and we're back to a 2-2 tie. But Clayton certainly, I think, is going to have to show greater possession in the offensive end, Mark.
Well, Clayton definitely has to keep the ball low because they just can't beat this team in the air consistently. They may do it once or twice or whatever. If they've got to change that up, and they're capable of doing that, Rob. So But you're just not going to beat Palmyra in the air. They have too many big guys that really go after it. Hey, you saw again that last series, by the way, Dickinson coming all the way up from the sweeper position and making a dangerous run. And that's what makes this team dangerous. Palmyra certainly scored quite a few goals.
Looks like Clayton's trying to get more people involved in the offense, but Palmyra quickly steals it away. And coming up onto it is McDonald. He'll send it looking for number 10 there, Keenan Yarden. But Palmyra again coming up with it. That's number 4, Peter Milliner. Up from the back, Sean Kosensky going forward, trying to find Ambrosius instead. A counter here, and that is Murphy, who had the first goal of the game.
See, Clayton getting the ball and not trying to dribble it all, just trying to get rid of it right away. Once in a while, you have to try to dribble and make some space. And that time, Murphy knocked down Ambrosius, and they caught him too. So this is a direct kick situation right here for Clayton.
I think stopping play right there, Mark, may have been to Palmyra's advantage.
I don't know. This is a dangerous type of a situation to direct from probably about 33 yards out. And again, Rob, Barrecchio, who takes the corners. You talked about the 14 assists and everything, so he really has a good foot and is a good distributor. But I mean, that far post is open there, and it might be worth trying to take a shot on there.
Referee talking to Guglielmucci. Guglielmucci, as you mentioned before, tapping McDonald's head and then cowboy style shooting guns. Ball headed away, kicked up in the air by Guglielmucci. And again, Palmyra will win it in the air, but Clayton comes back with it still up in the air, trying to settle, looking to cross now, trying to find Ambrosius, but instead, quickly up from the back, Palmyra will simply boot it out of their own end.
That was actually Guglielmucci, who's usually up there on the front line, but helping back on defense that time.
Racing after it, that was Bruce McDonald in the back, and Palmyra here with a throw-in. This will be number 9, Adam Della Penna. Della Penna
Let me coach, all right?
throws in, but stolen away here by the Clippers.
They have not used the left side of the field yet. Clayton hasn't. It's there, too.
Ambrosius. Murphy. Ball headed out to the side. You know, using the entire field, that's something that you talk about all the time, Mark.
Well, it is, and Clayton right now just using half of it would be more effective. By the way, that was a nice tackle that time by John Shelson of Clayton. Came up, really made a nice play on Murphy.
Clayton just seems very rushed, not composed right now. Feeling perhaps the pressure of this 2-0 deficit.
See, take it a little bit. Take it a little bit before giving it up.
Good cross here, trying to find Ambrosius. Good shield, looking to find his partner over there, number 8, Mike Green. Instead, Palmyra comes up with it.
It's a nice idea, though, by Clayton. I like it. It's, as we said, they hadn't used the left side, and that time they got it to Ambrosius and tried to flick it over the green. I think they can make some runs from that end.
Long throw and looking to go towards the middle. They do, but a nice play there by number 14, John Barrecchio.
Square it up, square it up.
Back Palmyra is trying to start this offense again. Lagaza looking to cross here, knocked out, and we will have a corner kick for Palmyra.
I'll tell you, Lazaga very, very dangerous on that right flank, isn't he? He's made some nice runs. He was the guy responsible now for this corner kick. And, you know, you talk about Guglielmucci, but Lazaga really has to be accounted for as well.
Zach Lagaza. Good cross inside, knocked in away, and finally Clayton on top of it. It seemed like an eternity before anybody got on top of that ball.
Well, Bruce McDonald, the sophomore, backing up the play. Kicking it out of harm's way, but Palmyra continues, and again, Palmyra is so dangerous on this situation where they can go for the head ball. You see Dickinson and Murphy both up there.
Ball headed over the crossbar, and again, you see what we've been talking about, Mark, the domination in the air.
That was Zach Lazaga that time for Palmyra. Again, he's just been buzzing around the net. You know, it's interesting. Palmyra got invited and played this year in the South Jersey Coaches Tournament, where 16 of the top teams in South Jersey play. They get a first-round matchup against Cumberland, the #1 team in South Jersey. Lost 5-1, but it was 3-1. It was competitive for a while. And Coach Pettigrew said, you know, this was good for my team. And make no mistake about it, Rob, they will not face a team anywhere close to Cumberland the rest of this tournament.
Well, we can talk a little bit more about that as the game starts to wind down as in terms of the matchups here in Group 1. On the wing here, number 10 for Clayton, trying to come up with it. It's Keenan Yarden. It looks like it's going to be a corner here for Clayton.
Well, Lewis tried that heel again, and it didn't work this time. We saw it earlier, and it didn't work. It hit off the Keenan, and then back to Lewis for the corner kick. So you can't always get away with that.
Here's the corner here for number 14, Verrecchio. He'll cross up in the air, coming down with it is the goalkeeper, Steve Miller. Mark, Steve Miller, one of the other things that Coach Pettigrew talked about was how good he is in the air. Mark, you know, Palmyra has not allowed a goal all year long on a corner kick, and that has to make you very confident in your own end.
Right, and that shows you have a keeper who's aggressive and coming off his line and coming out and getting those balls.
Throw in here, Palmyra again quickly on the counterattack. And nice play there on defense for Clayton. Coming up and knocked away. Number 11 now from Palmyra, juggling, coming up with it, John Caspero. Crossing, looking for Lazaga. Lazaga comes up with it, going on net, and far side, just outside the post. Good left foot there. Lazaga showing how dangerous he can be.
Oh, there's no question about it. He's really been impressive here this first half. He's a senior, you know. He doesn't want this to be his last game.
Excellent, excellent. What else has got?
The thing is, he's got very good speed and he moves fast, but he plays under control, and that's a real key, especially when you're making those runs down that right flank.
Ball headed up in the air, won by Ambrosius, but quickly back on the play, it's Palmyra.
See, that's the thing, Rob. He won the ball, but there was no one there to head it to.
Good aggressive play here by Clayton. That's number 6, Jay King. He will go forward, continues to make the run, and nice play there on defense to make sure that nothing is doing. Look to be number 5, Chris Dickinson.
Well, Dickinson did what all good sweepers do. He really read that play, came over, gave the help, saw that his man was beaten, and finished things off. But Clayton's having some chances here now. They've been getting a number of corner kicks, and
something has to give at some point. And of course, Coach Antonelli's hoping it's sooner than later. Here is the corner. John Verrecchio will take it again. Chipped up, but nobody there. Nothing but a sea of Palmyra players. Wasted opportunity. Throw in here for Clayton. And it will be number 3, Kosensky. Coming up from the back, it's McDonald. We do have a whistle.
I think what they were calling for was for Clayton, number 23, Paul DeZinzio, that time pushing. And there's Dickinson again on the direct.
Guglielmucci in between the legs of the defender for Clayton, E.J. Sanders. Ball sent outside, trying to be saved there by Clayton's number 23, and it is. Guglielmucci sent inside, a good cross, chipped away here by Clayton. They will try to counter quickly on the foot of Verrecchio. Verrecchio looking to go forward, knocked down by Clinton. Good move there by Verrecchio, continuing, trying to go forward, long ball, looking for the breaking Ambrosius, but maybe not a good decision there, Mark.
Well, again, Clayton, I think, getting out of its game a little bit, going too much long ball. But that last sequence showed the tremendous ball skills of Guglielmucci. First, the trap on there that he made, and the way he brought the ball down and kept it near his body. I mean, he's got a real impressive arsenal. I mean, he hasn't scored 23 goals by accident this year.
Speak of the devil, here's Guglielmucci looking to go inside, trying to find Lazaga. Lazaga, left foot, trying to break it past McDonald. Gets by McDonald and still in the box. Finally sent away here by Clayton. Ball won, and DeZinzio trying to defend here. Ball sent outside. We will have a throw-in for Palmyra.
A.J. Saunders kicked that out. Again, another of the young freshmen for this Clayton team.
We talked before about these teams being young. Ambrosius, the only senior starter for this Clayton team.
And Palmyra, many more seniors, and it's shown here in the first half.
Ball sent to the middle here. Palmyra looking to set up. It's Billy Knowles. Clayton will come up with it. And looking to settle, it's Murphy.
Murphy's got Dickinson in the back, and he had him in the back. Tried to go up forward, and there was Dickinson backing up the play. But that's, again, a situation where the defenders have to do a little talking there. Dickinson wide open. He could have started things off.
Well, Mike Green just did an absolutely great job there. Green defending on the play in his own backfield and went all the way forward. Clayton coming up, and now with an opportunity right on net. Good save there by Miller. Credit that whole sequence there to Green. Great job.
Yeah, Green on the shot that time, and Miller did a nice job blocking the short side that time. Miller very, very quick. You know, he's got quick feet. You could see that.
Very sure-handed.
I think you can attribute that to his baseball playing as well. Look again, this is another situation where again, Murphy from his stopper position started that up. Now that ball was a little bit too far, but this is why Palmyra scores a lot of goals. Their back line has really been starting a lot of the play with Murphy, especially Murphy, Lewis, and Dickinson.
Ambrosius off his head, trying to create opportunities. Ball sent away now, trying to be settled by Palmyra. The race is on. Sent away, coming up with it at Sean Kosinski towards the middle of the field there. There's Lazaga looking to find his breaking teammate, number 11, John Casparo. Instead, it is Clayton. And not saved in time there by number 16, E.J. Sanders.
Sanders did a nice job, though, getting the ball and taking it outside.
Other way, G, other way.
Have a whistle here, not quite sure what it is.
I think Sanders may have been fouled, Rob, as he was making that little run.
Mark up, guys, mark up.
Clayton again looking to go long. Ball knocked away. We will have a throw-in here. I have a couple subs come in here for Clayton. The throw-in will be John Verrecchio's.
Jay King, one of the players in, again a sophomore on this team. I tell you, they've done a really nice job with the feeder program. Dan Antonelli says that's one of the reasons this Clayton program has had the success it has, especially the last 2 years. He says the people in Clayton with the feeder program, he has people now, players coming in with some experience. They've been taught the game well, and he really gives a lot of credit to the youth coaches.
Well, a feeder program makes all the difference in the world for any high school coach. You can only work with what you've been given. And Antonelli has certainly done a fine job here, but he has to get some help. And fortunately, he's gotten that from the community. Ambrosius now looking inside. Good opportunity here. Quickly defended, though. And on the ball, a struggle here is DeZinzio knocked out, and we will have a whistle. DeZinzio looked like he could have had a quick turnaround shot, but defending nicely. Palmyra negating any opportunity.
Well, Lewis that time bumped him off the ball. I thought DeZinzio was going to shield him. Didn't do that, but he got pushed off. So again, Verrecchio has been a little short on these restarts.
Verrecchio looking inside. It's still bouncing around, chipped up in the air, nothing doing. Quickly on top, it's Steve Miller. You have to like Miller's confidence. He seems very poised back there, Mark.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. And that was John Andrew, by the way, coming up and having a good look at the goal that time for Clayton.
Here's Guglielmucci with the ball. He'll go and wait for the whistle. One of the things you talked about, Guglielmucci was about to quickly throw that ball in, Mark, which you love to see, but because of the subs coming in, he was unable to do so. Look at all the room out there.
No question about it. By the way, I wish they would get a rule in soccer that you cannot sub in the last 15 minutes, because a lot of coaches that are winning do that to stall the game and everything. A lot of wasted time.
All inside here, looking inside the middle. Good opportunity, chipped, nothing doing. Left foot, shot on. Clayton will try to send this out of the box. Instead, continuing with possession, Palmyra looks to go forward, nothing doing in the middle, but a good opportunity there. Casparo looking to create. All up in the air, headed down. Clayton will send it the other way, but quickly up from defense, Billy Knowles. Up in the air, settling here.
Look at that touch. That is great touch by Guglielmucci.
Chipped up in the air. You know what I like there, Mark, with Guglielmucci, what we've talked about with the better players, their poise, their patience, just very much under control, letting the game come to him and then creating.
Yeah, you're right, because instead of just banging that ball, he just brought it down. The great players are the ones that can keep that ball near them, and he certainly did that. Here could be a chance here, but good job by Dickinson. Dickinson has read the plays very well back there today from his sweeper spot. And that's what you want from that position. I mean, your fellow teammates are obviously going to get beaten at times, and for you to read it, and for him to be on the play as quickly as he has, it shows you that he's really read it well and showing a lot of experience here.
Yeah, as a defender, that position entails a great deal of instinct.
That was not the best of plays for him as he kicked it back to the middle, and Verrecchio almost had one.
Coming up with it, Guglielmucci looking to go forward, trying to find a long ball, and nothing doing there, trying to find Chris Dickinson, but Falcone does come up with it for Clayton. Zenzio now for Clayton, steals away, goes inside to Ambrosius. And you do see Ambrosius does look to be a little bit hampered. His mobility just not the same with that broken...
There's no question about it. I mean, he can move well with the ball there, but you're right. He won't want to use any excuses or anything, but it certainly has to hinder him. Of course, last year, remember, Rob, he missed half the season, or at least the first 30 days, because he had transferred back from Gloucester Catholic, and now this year he's missed another 30 days, but at least it's nice to see that he gets to come back and play in a state tournament.
We will have a throw-in here for Clayton. About 3 minutes remaining here in the first half. Palmyra on top of Clayton, 2-0. Ball sent in, and some trouble there for Miller. That's the first time Miller has had trouble with it, although really not much danger on that play.
Miller tapped the ball on the ground. He wasn't happy with himself on that.
And that's, I'll tell you what, I love to see that level of intensity. He came to play today, and Miller wants to handle every ball perfectly. Ball looking to find Ambrosius instead. Coming up quickly from defense, but DeZenzio to Ambrosius. Now some of that short passing, but stolen away by Palmyra.
It's all right. That left side, there are some serious openings on that left side of the field for the Clippers.
Knocked outside, we will have a throw-in here for the Panthers.
Of course, teams tend to be right-handed, as we like to say, because most of the kids kick with their right foot. As you see, Palmyra's been able to work this left flank, and it's no coincidence Guglielmucci is left-footed. And you have a player whose strongest foot is the left, it can really give you a lot of problems.
Well, here will come a throw-in from number 5, Chris Dickinson, and he will try to create opportunities here, try to go up a 3-goal lead because Palmyra is very dangerous in the air. Let's see.
He'll look for Murphy, there's no doubt about it.
Ball headed away by Clayton. Trying to have the volley there is Palmyra, but instead Clayton will go in the other direction.
Well, that was a nice head ball by Verrecchio getting it out of there, giving up a few inches to Murphy. They might even want to use Murphy as a target, not as a guy that's going to head it into the goal, but head it to one of his teammates.
Nice back pass there. Again, a long run, trying to find Guglielmucci, but quickly and decisively up from the goalkeeper spot is Falcone. Hunt trying to find Zenzio. Settled here by Buganski. Headed down. It's DeZenzio. DeZenzio crosses to the middle. Unable to settle. Back. Verrecchio looking to find the breaking Ambrosius. Instead, quickly back on defense. It looked to be Lewis.
They always tell the forwards to play the miss, so Ambrosius did that exactly right. He was playing in case Dickinson fanned on that ball. He didn't, though. And
good little decision there by number 16, E.J. Sanders, just a freshman. That's a smart play. Not to do too much, just send it out, let the defense get settled. Clayton now will try to counter. Long run here, trying to find someone on the other side, but there's no one there. Quickly up, long punt by Verrecchio. Going forward now for Clayton, John Andrew. And Palmyra defends again. Good steal here by Ambrosius. And there you see the dangerousness of Ambrosius. Inside, good opportunity. May have taken just too much time inside. And again, by the wayside, a good opportunity. Mark, that may have been a situation where he may have one-timed it.
Well, there's no question about it. Either that or I saw where Andrew was maybe trying to put it to the other side of the defender that time. It was a good idea, but the execution wasn't there.
Well, you know, this first half in some ways is held true to form. Palmyra, Mark, as we spoke about, very tough in the air. The first goal coming in the air, and we featured Mike Guglielmucci in the open, and that powerful left foot, he recorded the second goal of the game.
Yeah, no surprise that Palmyra's been able to put a couple in. I mean, this is a team that has hit the back of the net with regularity this season, and you know, playing home and being familiar with the field. But I still think, as we look at Ambrosius there, that Clayton has had the chances. Ambrosius hit the crossbar, even that play right near the end of the half. So the Clippers have not been lacking for chances. The thing is, I think they have to attack Palmyra a little bit differently. I think Coach Antonelli will talk about that at halftime.
Well, we'll see what adjustments that Coach Antonelli makes. We'll see if Ambrosius can bury one for Clayton, and we'll bring you second half action after this. You're watching Comcast Cablevision, Channel 43. Welcome back here to Palmyra High School. Second half just underway with Palmyra on top 2-0 over the Clayton Clippers. Goal scorers Murphy and Guglielmucci for the Panthers.
You know, and the other thing is, you know, we talked about Guglielmucci's goal scoring ability. He was the one that had that assist on that header by Murphy too, beautifully placed. I mean, we talked about how Murphy was wide open, but still the ball had to be put there.
Clayton trying to change their fortunes here. And should they be able to score in the first 10 minutes or so, Mark, this game's complexion will change considerably.
No, there's no question about it. I do expect Clayton to use a little more of the field. I saw too much bunching up in the middle in the first half. And again, that's kind of playing into Palmyra's hands because Palmyra is so strong defensively up the middle with Murphy, as we see an offsides call that time.
Not sure. It looked to be maybe Guglielmucci that was actually offsides as opposed to Rupert, who was making that long run. You know, Delran, which we had an opportunity to watch the other day, also using the all of the field very well. Coach Mike Pettigrew said that was one of the keys to the game for his own team, making sure that they keep the ball wide, bring it outside, and then, you know, back to the middle.
Well, the other thing is the difference in Delran and these teams. Delran had about 5 players that could break down a defender very seriously, and when you do that, that just opens up so much space for you.
Palmyra here, bringing it up nicely here is number 4, Peter Milliner. Milliner will try to go past Clayton's number 5, John Delaney. Instead, it will be a throw-in for Palmyra. As we mentioned, just an absolutely beautiful day. Somewhere in the neighborhood of 70 degrees. Now, Mark, you're always known to carry a stopwatch, but from what I understand and watching the broadcast generally during baseball season, you're also known to bring the thermometer. Did you bring that today?
I did not bring it, Rob. Rushing out the house. Actually, I was painting this morning, so yeah, I should have had the thermometer. Beautiful day. I'll tell you what, it's a shame a lot of times, Rob, where the best, biggest soccer games of the year are often played in the coldest, worst, most dreary weather around. Obviously, that's not the case here today.
Long ball chipped in, going forward, trying to come up with it is Clayton, and they do. It's number 9, John Andrew. Andrew back. Good punt right on. A good opportunity there for Ambrosius, but simply handling it easily. It's Steve Miller.
Actually, Jay King on the shot that time. Ambrosius started things up by making a nice long pass there. And
chip inside, looking for Lazaga. Bobbling it. Good opportunity, Palmyra. And number 3 trying to find Lazaga. Instead, it's Lazaga going outside. Rupert could not. Goes back in the middle. Clayton will come up with it. And chipping it forward. Now settled here by Palmyra's number 11, Caspero. Caspero looking to go inside. Again, Clayton having a difficult time sending it out. Good cross. And on to the keeper, Falcone. Falcone having a little bit of trouble there, and that would have been a tough pill to swallow. That would have been a 3-0 deficit, which would be very difficult to overcome.
Well, that time we had no offsides calls. Guglielmucci did not get back in time, but Palmyra once again having Clayton's defense on its heels.
Have the restart here for Clayton. Headed away here by Palmyra. Going to the outside. And there you see for Clayton, John Verrecchio. Instead stolen away by the Panthers once again. Looking to create there. Back, settled back to Palmyra. Going, chipped inside, knocked away. Jay King.
It's a nice thought by King. Instead of just kicking it out, he tried to pass it to himself on the outside. Good job. He still has possession of it.
It's a good run there. And quickly up from the back. Decisive play there by Murphy. But again, Clayton coming up with it. Verrecchio from the back. Knocked away here. But it will continue to be possession of Clayton.
And what Clayton's done is you see Andrew there late in the first half. Great turn move.
Good move here going inside, but nobody there. And that's a shame because Andrew, a beautiful move, but passing to no one.
Rob, just to finish up what I was saying, late in the first half, they started moving Andrew up offensively, and I think it's given Clayton a little spark. He had that one play near the end of the half where if he could have turned the ball, he might have had a dangerous shot, and he's really helped things out here.
Clayton here with the restart. And again, about 5 minutes elapsed here in the second half. Verrecchio with the long ball, trying with the set piece, headed on, but nothing doing there. Number 9, Andrew, not much on that header. Quickly the counter here. Miller, ball unsettled here, continuing, and knocked out of bounds. It'll be a throw-in for Palmyra.
You know, it's interesting. It looks like they've taken that man mark off Guglielmucci. He doesn't have anyone specifically on him. That could be a dangerous situation, but as we said, they used Andrew, moved him up. They need some help on the attack.
Trying to chip and go forward. It's John Delaney off the side of his foot. We'll have a throw-in here for Justin Lewis and Palmyra. All settled here. Again, it's Billy Knowles.
Tell you what, Knowles has had a solid game. There again, spreading things out, going to the right flank that time.
The question here is whether it will be a throw-in or a corner. It was very close. Not see how it was ruled. That will certainly make a big difference.
Probably a throw-in if Dickinson is coming back. Let's see. Oh no, Guglielmucci's going to take it, so it will be a corner.
It'll be a corner kick here. From this angle, it looked like it should have been a throw-in perhaps, but obviously the referee with a better angle than we have. Watch Murphy sneaking up from behind here. He is dangerous in this situation.
End swinger kick this time by Guglielmucci.
There it is. Long kick. And a whistle on the play. Not quite sure. I think there's some confusion as to whether or not it was a throw-in or a corner. Don't know what it's about, Mark. Maybe it's a concern with the clock. I don't know.
I think it's what you said before. I think the officials, John Knox and Ron Russell, talking it over right now, whether it was a throw-in or a corner. It will remain a corner.
Two referees communicating, and that's what you'd like to see out there. They've done a nice job thus far today.
Lewis is wide open. They better watch him.
Sent back. Trying to settle here for Palmyra. Chipped away, and we have an offsides call on Guglielmucci. Slams the ball down. Not pleased with the call. Clayton with the restart.
Got to watch that because that could be a cardable offense, especially since the ball went wide. It delayed the game even more.
Long kick here, headed, and Ambrosius with the run. Again, you see him just having a tough time maneuvering with that cast. He's not going to have the same speed, Mark.
No, he's just not going to have. there's just not as much fluidity when he runs. I mean, I think it's a little more of a struggle. But as he showed when he hit the crossbar, he could still score. Unless the legs are broken, he can still be pretty dangerous.
Good run here by Guglielmucci, but decisively up on defense. Sean Kaczynski with a good play.
It's an excellent tackle that time by Kaczynski. Not only a tackle, but he got it up to Delaney, his teammate.
Delaney making a strong move as well. Clayton continues to go forward, and quickly now Palmyra stealing with the counter. Knocked down on the play, we'll have a whistle.
Well, I'll tell you what, Milner maybe got a little lucky on that when they called a trip that time, but it looked like he was going to fall anyway when he stepped over that ball.
Yeah, he may have tripped on the ball. Again, a quick restart here. Long cross, looking for anything to happen, but instead it's Falcone coming up with it. But as you see there, Palmyra getting things started right from the outset, trying to start things quickly, not allowing Clayton to get set up on defense.
I don't know if Clayton has won one ball in the air today, and that's not a knock on Clayton as much as it's a praising Palmyra. I mean, they're a team that lives that way, and I think you've got to keep it lower. See, as we said there.
Ambrosius heads it, finds a breaking number 8, Mike Green. Green continues to try to go forward, tripped up there, and we do have a whistle. It looked to be number 5, Chris Dickinson, who tripped up Green. It was certainly inadvertent, but we're going to have a card here, or it looks to be a card. Yeah,
Murphy complained a little bit too vociferously that time, so he'll be sitting down. Now, I believe they called obstruction that time. I believe Dickinson wasn't giving him the room that time, so this should be an indirect kick right here.
Maybe you want to go over the different rulings in terms of cards and how that affects their situation both in the game and the playoffs.
Well, what it is he obviously has to sit out, and then the next possession he can actually come back in. Obviously, you get a red card, you're out a couple of games. This is just a yellow.
Old cards carrying over, Mark?
Not to my knowledge in the playoffs, no.
Here's Ambrosius breaking it down. It looked to be number 14, Stephen Neely. Neely got away with something there. Breaking from the wall early. Quickly up here. It looks to be McDonald. We will have a Clayton throw in. That wall broke a little bit early, Mark.
I'll tell you, Andrew continues to give them some spark up top, doesn't he?
Sure does. Shows that quick burst. It's proven to be dangerous.
Now the problem is you're taking one of your better defenders and you're using them up top, and you're going to sacrifice that, but you're down 2-0. The other thing, Rob, that I think, now Murphy's back in the game on the goal kick after getting the card. I think if you get a card, you should have to sit out for quite some time, because I think that might be more of a deterrent, like a 10-minute or 15-minute interval or something like that. And I think it would stop, kids from mouthing off as much or anything like that.
I think it's generally a lot of coaches will probably have their player do that just to ensure, if not anything else, to stay away from the red card.
Most of the times they bring him right back in, as we said, Murphy back into the ball game. Shelson coming in for Clayton now, and he'll replace Andrew, and Andrew's probably pretty tired. He's made a lot of serious runs.
Header inside, good opportunity, knocked away there by number 14, Neely, who's made a couple of decisive plays in the back recently. Ball headed forward, still running around, knocked inside, good opportunity, kicked on, and just over the post, tipped over there by the goalkeeper, Steve Miller. Tremendous opportunity here for Clayton, and now they begin to apply the pressure.
Outstanding job by Verrecchio that time as he trapped the ball, kept it in, and then passed it to Mike Green, and then Green got off a bullet. I thought Miller was a little bit too far out of the goal that time, but obviously he got a piece of it. But that was a great bit of ball control by Verrecchio to set things up.
Verrecchio looking for Ambrosius. We do have a whistle here, and we'll see what happens. Let's take a look at this replay.
Now watch this. Watch the ball control right there. Look, he gets it, then he kicks it over to Green, who one times it. See how far out Miller is? He almost got caught too far out that time. on that play.
Long ball here, trying to find Guglielmucci, if not for any other reason, simply to get it out of their own end.
You know, Rob, if you're a keeper and you're too far out and you get that tip, you can still tip it in your own goal. So positioning, very, very important.
Miller has done a nice job thus far today for Palmyra.
You know, that's two very serious chances for Clayton. Yeah, you know, I said Clayton hadn't won a ball in the air. Ambrosius is obviously, he's won a number of them, but a lot of times he's heading it. He's the lead man up there, and there's no one to go to. Ambrosius, even with the bad arm and everything, very, very strong in the air.
Well, we talked before about how Coach Pettigrew for Palmyra said the keys to the game, one was to keep the ball wide, bring it outside, and then bring it back in. You know, the other thing he mentioned was to win the 50-50 balls, Mark, and that's certainly something that Palmyra has done.
Well, with its size, I mean, Palmyra's won the majority of them. There's no question about it.
They've won a few 40-60 balls, I think. Clayton, go ahead, Mark.
Clayton's showing a good offensive pulse here, though, Rob. I mean,
yeah, they have certainly picked it up a notch. You know, it's kind of funny because the first, say about 10 minutes or so, it seemed like Palmyra was plotting a little bit, and they were being out quick to the ball by Clayton, and they simply can't afford to do that. Long ball there, and getting away from what had been successful previously, maintaining possession and going forward. Instead, they go with the long ball. Ball knocked outside, and the goalkeeper, Falcone, quickly running to the side to knock that away. Seemed to be a little bit indecisive, and then finally went after it to knock it out of bounds.
Well, he did. He hesitated, took like a stutter step, and then made his decision. You're right about that. But to his credit, he was able to get the ball and kick it out. And again, Dickinson right there with the long throw, and this is a very dangerous part of this Palmyra offense.
Here will be the throw-in, as you mentioned, by Dickinson.
I would certainly use Murphy as a target here.
Ball headed up in the air, outside, and Clayton will come up with it. And over the end line. You know, Dickinson is another player that's very good in the air. You see him making those throw-ins, but he scored 3 of his 5 goals on the head.
I think every time Palmyra's around that area, it's going to try to put pressure on Clayton. But look at Verrecchio. I mean, he's everywhere. He almost set up what was a great scoring opportunity by Green. He's back there on the back line now on defense, but he's certainly going to pick his spots and come up as well.
There's no question that Clayton's best player is Ambrosius, but I tell you what, Coach Antonelli has a lot to look forward to, Mark. Verrecchio, a freshman, as you mentioned, has been impressive. Green has created some opportunities, also a freshman.
Yeah, they're 2 real good building blocks for this team. Verrecchio is staying in the midfield, but he is just taking the goal kicks. Wow, there's a pretty hard tackle that time by Palmyra's 21, Nathan Wells. Speaking of freshmen, another one.
Starting things again, going forward is Clayton. Coming up with it instead, it's number 13, Billy Knowles. Knowles dancing around the Clayton defenders. Nice little chip there, trying to find a breaking Wells on the wing. Battled away there by Clayton's John Shelson, looking to go in the other direction. Instead, coming up back from the sweeper spot and knocked inside. Handled by Falcone. That was number 8, Kevin Murphy, the goal scorer for Palmyra. In fact, the first goal scorer, I guess I should say.
I'll tell you what, that was a nice shoulder tackle that time by Shelson defensively for Clayton.
Winning the battle here, it's Murphy shrugging off the smaller Clayton defender, Jay King, but instead it's now, as we mentioned before, seemingly everywhere, Verrecchio looking to make things happen. Nothing doing there. Defended, knocked up in the air. Looks like it will head out, and we will have a throw in here.
I'll tell you what, I really like Verrecchio. Clayton fans can really look forward to 3 more years of him. Again, plays under control, has pretty good vision as he's always looking out there for that open man. Obvious trick there.
Tripped up on the play by E.J. Sanders, or excuse me, Bruce McDonald. That looked to be number 13, Billy Knowles. Long ball, looking for Guglielmucci. Instead, Clayton coming up with it. Going outside, a long ball. Ambrosius chasing after it. Instead, off the head of Billy Knowles. Clayton again, looking to go for it, trying to create. Little chip inside, headed up. Still, battle at the midfield spot. Nice little bicycle kick, Verrecchio. Good shield there, winning the ball. Going forward now, looking for number 8, Mike Green. Green again. We've seen him do this earlier, creating opportunities with the in-swinger. Good opportunity, some trouble there. Sent away quickly by Palmyra, but Clayton will come up with it. Again, looking for Green. Chipping up, it's Verrecchio. He will try to settle. Instead, coming up, it's Wells decisively. Up from the back for Clayton, it's Sean Kosensky going forward. But from the back, Palmyra. Again, I have to credit Green. Tremendous job.
Well, we had a handball there.
This is a dangerous play.
Well, it is. We know how Guglielmucci can pass and hit people, but he can also hit the goal, too. They better watch far post.
Ball chipped up. Looked like somebody got a foot on it and sailed over the crossbar, but you can see the powerful shot there.
That's right, G. That's right, man.
Here again, it's Verrecchio. Mark, is there only one Verrecchio out there?
He has been everywhere, hasn't he?
Ball headed away, and again, Clayton will gain some territory here.
You know, you have to wonder about his stamina, because he's taking the goal kicks, which after a while, Rob, those things can, they can really take a toll on you. And then he's coming all the way up, playing the midfield and really trying to jumpstart the attack.
Settled here, Clayton getting a lot of room. It's Jay King. King going forward, looking for Ambrosius on the wing. Ambrosius settles, looking to create, trying to break down the defense. Coming up with it quickly back for Palmyra, stolen away, and now it's Rich Rupert going in the other direction. Rupert looking to go forward, trying to find Guglielmucci, cannot. Clayton throwing.
Well, Ambrosius is a very good player, but 1-on-3, he's not. He certainly doesn't have the best odds in a situation like that. And as I said, a lot of times with a premier scorer, their teammates will kind of look at them and wait for them to do something instead of running to the ball and giving them an option to pass to.
Well, in his defense, as you mentioned earlier, a lot of times he won the head ball, but there was no one there to help him out. And maybe a little bit of frustration here. Falcone handling it easily. Trying to set his offense. Here again, header. It's Ambrosius trying to come up with it and settles back to his teammate. Back now to Ambrosius, going the other way. 3-on-3 inside to Verrecchio. Verrecchio outside on the wing. Going left foot, it's number 8, Mike Green. Green could not find the net, but a good opportunity there. 3-on-3. Ambrosius to Green. Green just not able to get that on goal.
It all started with a back pass from Ambrosius. Outstanding play, and also credit Stephen Neely, number 14 for Palmyra. He was on Green, made him shoot with the opposite foot, and it shot wide. And as a defender, you want to keep that guy outside. You don't want him to cut in on you. And Neely did a nice job.
To the midfield. Palmyra coming up aggressively. One in the air there by Jason Patton. Looking to settle, it's Verrecchio. Verrecchio still creating. Looks inside. Good pass there to Shelson. Shelson looks inside to Ambrosius. A little touch pass on goal. And just knocked away there. Jay King had a good opportunity, but a fine play for Palmyra.
Absolutely, a great job by Tony Lasara that time, the senior, coming up from the weak side, filling in that time, and had he not done it, it would have been a break for Clayton. And Clayton continues to have some very, very impressive looks offensively here in the second half.
About 18 minutes and change remaining here in this second half. Clayton will have to try to create something relatively quickly. Looking outside for number 10, Keenan Yarden. Yarden comes up with it. Being defended there by Tony Lacera, who Mark was just talking about. Again, it's Yarden. Looked across, goes to the center. Coming down with it, Shelson chipping it up and over the goalpost. Again, though, Clayton continues to apply the pressure.
Not a bad thought that time by Shelson. Again, this is very, very nice work by Clayton. There's Shelson, and a great one-touch that time by Ambrosius. And there's Lacera just kicking it out at the last second.
Great play by Lacera.
I'll tell you, though, what made that play was the one touch. Boom, boom. They went right in on it by Ambrosius. Again, these guys like Ambrosius, Guglielmucci, these finishers that have great touch. That's why they're scoring so many goals.
Make that run, Nate.
Crossed inside, and again, Palmyra coming up with it. Going forward, but instead stolen away here. It's Clayton's number 24, Baganski. Baganski looking to go forward for Verrecchio. Verrecchio going, finding Ambrosius. Ambrosius has one man to beat. It's Murphy. Still coming up with it. It's Ambrosius trying to beat Murphy. Murphy out-muscles him, but Ambrosius still coming up with it. Will look to cross now off the head and trying to track it down. It's Clayton. They'll try to start things again. Verrecchio has some room in the midfield, but quickly coming back, it's Guglielmucci on defense. Verrecchio back over inside, and Shelson with an ill-advised pass, and Palmyra will simply get it out of harm's way. Back on defense now, Sanders. Chipped up and over. Palmyra will head forward, where they've won the majority of the balls. Chipped up, looking for the breaking winger. That's number 11, Caspero. Palmyra still in possession. Good cross, looking for Wells. Quickly on top of it, it's Falcone. Wells applying the pressure. Good opportunity there. Falcone able to bring it in.
Well, the reason that play worked was number 9 for Palmyra, Adam Della Pena, did a great job controlling the ball and then crossing it in that time.
Inside, it's Wells now. Wells will come up with it. Will look to go inside, trying to find Guglielmucci. He's got a dangerous left foot, and he scores! Quick turnaround shot by Guglielmucci, his second goal of the game, and just like that, it's 3-0 Palmyra.
Rob, what did it that time was the shield on the play. I mean, he's left-footed, so he shielded the man to his right side, turned left, and took the shot. But when we get to see the replay on that, you'll see what a tremendous job he did of warding off the defender that time, getting the ball, and then, as he showed earlier in the game, he can get that shot off very, very quickly.
Clayton now with the ball, coming up from the back. It's John Shelson. Verrecchio looking for Ambrosius. Ambrosius with a good opportunity, knocked on to Miller. Good defensive play there. Let's take a look at that goal and Guglielmucci's dangerous left foot.
Well, Wells did a nice job of keeping it. See the shield right there, and then he's able to turn to his foot that he uses all the time. What a shot that time. That's one of the best shields that I've seen in a long time.
Well, I'll tell you what, the other thing that he did is he continued to go to his left, bringing the goaltender Falcone with him and simply cutting it back across, finding the corner of the net and drawing Falcone away. Good opportunity and a good finish by Guglielmucci, and that's really been the difference, Mark. They have buried their opportunities.
And give Nathan Wells, as we said, a lot of credit for keeping that ball in. There's no question about it. You look at this 3-0 and people might think, well, this is a pretty solid blowout by Palmyra, but Clayton, and especially this half, I thought Clayton's actually had the territorial edge, but just has not been able to finish things.
Palmyra again, tough in the air, in-swinger on, and brought down there by Falcone. That's a good play by the goalkeeper.
The other thing is, Rob, I think one of the reasons Clayton has had more success this half is they've really kept the ball on the ground a lot more, and they've been able to work it that way.
There's no question about that, Mark. They are far more successful when you see that little touch passing, the little combination play. And that's when they're creating their opportunities.
Jump back.
We'll have a throw in here, and it's Verrecchio. We'll try to settle. Chipped up, looking for Ambrosius, but Miller Johnny on the spot as he has been all afternoon. He'll quickly get this offense started in the other direction. Instead, Clayton heads it going forward now. And here, looking inside for Ambrosius was Buganski. Instead, back on defense, McDonald, and he will settle and pass it over to Patton. Patton now to the midfield, and there he finds number 10, Keenan Yarden. Palmyra simply knocking it out, looking to counter quickly. Knocked out of bounds there by Keenan Yarden. Thrown here for Palmyra, headed, and that's Jason Patton. Patton continues to chase after it at the midfield, simply waiting. It's Palmyra's number 9, Adam De La Pena. Good steal here by Clayton's number 10, Keenan Yarden. Sends it back, Verrecchio now. Quarterbacking. Back to Verrecchio. Verrecchio will try to make a run, looks and sees Wells. Instead, coming up decisively. Good play there by Shelson. Shelson looks to the middle, trying to find Ambrosius. Cannot. Headed again, trying to find Ambrosius. Good little touch pass there. But quickly, nice defensive play by Lacera. He has been something special in the second half. Ball knocked out of bounds. Mark Lacera has been the key to this defense recently.
Oh, he saved that one potential goal, the ball in the middle. There's Ambrosius, dangerous situation there.
Good opportunity, probably one of the best ones of the game, and certainly Ambrosius' best opportunity since he hit the crossbar early in the game. Wells heads it up. Knocked down here by the Clayton defense. Quickly going uphill, try the long run. Ball headed up in the air. Verrecchio trying to win a header. Verrecchio does. He'll continue to go forward. Nice little volley. Headed up and brought down here. Firehammer will simply send it up. Verrecchio heads it again. Ball continually set up in the air and knocked out of bounds here. About 11 minutes and 40 seconds remaining here in the game. Clayton trailing 3-0. Do have a little bit of time to talk about this, Mark, so we mentioned that we would talk about the Group 1 playoffs here in South Jersey. Who do you like?
Well, I mean, I'm not exactly going out on a limb. I like Haddon Township and Shalleck, obviously, to get there in the finals. They're the top 2 seeds, and I just think Shalleck has too many veterans, and they have one of the great coaches around in John Donovan. And as much as I like Haddon Township, and Haddon Township will give up goals grudgingly, believe me, I wouldn't expect any 3-0 games with them. With their fine sweeper, Paul Gilligan. Levecki's improved each game in goal, but I just think that this might be Shalleck's year, and I think the Cougars are going to be very tough to beat here in Group 1.
Any sleepers?
Well, mate, we might be looking at one right here, Palmyra. I mean, it's tough to say a number 3 seed is a sleeper, but they're certainly not going to be favored, and won't be favored if Haddon Township wins.
Good opportunity here. Ambrosius going and making the move inside. May not have seen the breaking number 9, Adam De La Pena. Looked to be a 2-on-0, but quickly Palmyra back to defend.
De La Pena had good closing speed that time and made him turn it into the center where he was able to kick it out.
About 10 minutes now remaining in the second half.
The one thing about Palmyra that the Panthers will certainly have to watch in the future rounds, they take a lot of chances defensively. They send some people up, and it really helps your attack, but sometimes you can get caught back as well. And Clayton's had a few pretty good opportunities in transition today.
Well, the other thing is that Coach Pettigrew was concerned about his midfield play. They do seem to give a lot of room in the midfield, Mark.
Well, they do, but the other thing is, boy, there's a nice little move by Knowles. I think Knowles has been really solid here today. Not a real flashy player.
Beautiful save there, good opportunity. And again, you see how dangerous Guglielmucci can be.
Well, you do, because he had E.J. Sanders right on him. The key to Guglielmucci's game is just how quickly he gets those shots off.
I'll tell you what, Falcone has given up 3 goals, but he has had a pair of just tremendous saves today, Mark.
A couple of really nice ones, and certainly bodes well for the future here for Clayton.
Ambrosius playing it back now. Chipped up and knocked out of bounds here. We will have a Clayton throw-in. Ambrosius little combination play with Mike Green.
You know what I like? There's 8:52 left. It doesn't look good for Clayton, and Clayton is still playing just as hard, trying to scrap for a goal.
Long throw-in here, trying to find number 4. It hits the flag and stays in play. A little curiosity there. Knocked away. We will have a Palmyra throw-in. Palmyra coming into this game, as Mark mentioned, a 3 seed. Likely its only home game here in the playoffs.
Too, because Riverside, as we said, won the Freedom Division. Palmyra split this year with Riverside.
Watch that far post, far post.
I think Riverside, Mark, I think of Bobby Joe Esposito.
Sure. Bobby Joe, there was also, there were 3 Espositos. I played against his brother Nick, and Bobby Joe, one of the greatest players in South Jersey history. There's no question about it. By the way, Gary Heron in his first year, a very nice job with this Riverside team.
Gary Heron has done a tremendous job with the baseball program there at
Absolutely.
Riverside. I used to play against Gary Heron in Rancocas Valley League. I think Gary Heron's still playing baseball. I think we're showing our age now, Mark. Ball headed up here.
Boy, Murphy has just been so tough in the air, just as advertised, by the way. It's no surprise, but not only with, scoring the goal off the head ball, but just as far as winning them. I don't know if he's lost one today.
Switched up, looking for the breaking man on the outside there. That's number 7 of Palmyra. Still coming up with it. Firehammer will continue to go forward, looking to create. And knocked out of harm's way there. Again, continuing now, possession of the ball. Clayton coming up decisively from the back. That looked to be number 10, Keenan Yarden. A little bit of a struggle here. Ambrosius getting his jersey held. And that's number 5, Chris Dickinson.
Rob, it shows you how far this Clayton program has come. I mean, a few years ago, the Clippers were 9-10-1. They would have been throwing a party, but they're certainly not happy with that. As we mentioned, 8-3-1 when Ambrosius got hurt against Gloucester Catholic in that 1-1 tie. And then after that, it's interesting. After that, we had said that they had lost, 7 out of 8. But, I mean, there were some close games. They lost 2-0 to Shalleck, as we have a close, as Clayton's right around the goal. Green missed the volley. They also lost 2-1 to Pittman, 1-0 to a talented Kingsway team that you and I saw earlier in the year against Deptford. So it wasn't as if they were being blown out of games without Ambrosius in the lineup.
I believe playing today in the playoffs again, or they may have won yesterday.
No, playing today.
Okay. Long ball sent down the side. And Palmyra contentious, simply to bang it out of their own end and sit on this 3-0 lead. If an opportunity presents itself, that's great. Guglielmucci, of course, would love to see a hat trick here in the playoffs. But Miller more concerned about maintaining a shutout. Inside now. Good opportunity, chipped up and over the net there by John Shelson.
We talked about Kingsway being in Group 2, and of course we saw a Group 2 game the other day with Delran and West Deptford, and Delran certainly with its work cut out today against Morristown, but I also feel Morristown has its work cut out against Delran. I could envision a very close game. Morristown won that first one 2-1. I could see that type of score again.
Well, we saw how skilled that Delran team was earlier in the week, and of course the other factor that plays into it, Mark, is those two are great rivals. Ball knocked in the box, trying to chip it up, chasing after it. It's Miller. He'll simply let it coast out of bounds, and we'll have a goal kick.
And as we said before, the Group 2 title belongs to Kingsway until further notice. They're the defending champs, and Bill Dent's team certainly not going to relinquish it easily. Of course, Pittman, the defending South Jersey Group 1 champ, not get into the tournament this year.
Ball headed up. And here you see number 19 for Palmyra. Lloyd Griscom will continue to go forward. Chipped up here by Clayton. Some play at the midfield. Clayton will simply go up. Good little header, nice little touch. Ambrosius and Andrew, a little bit of cross signals there. And again, Miller will simply send it out towards the middle, hope to create, otherwise make sure that it's a safe play. 3-0 here. About 3 minutes remaining here at Palmyra High School. This is the quarterfinals of the South Jersey Group 1 playoffs. And Clayton, of course, would love to come out of this game with at least scoring 1 goal. Ambrosius has had a fine career while at Clayton. As you mentioned earlier, Mark, a transfer from Gloucester Catholic.
Actually, I think he's had a fine game. Consider this his first one in a month. Yes, he was doing a little conditioning on a bicycle and all, but he didn't get to practice until a couple of days ago. And it's a different kind of conditioning that you need for a soccer game. And he had a couple of chances. He certainly didn't back down any balls in the air. And
opportunity here, quickly chipped on and away. And that will simply run out of gas, out of bounds. We see Palmyra freely substituting here with a 3-0 lead. Quickly up from the back here, Jim Firehammer. Good left foot, knocked down on the play by Sean Kusinski. Going towards the midfield now. Clayton trying to apply some pressure. That's Verrecchio, who has had a tremendous game for this Clayton Clippers team. Knocked out of bounds, and we will have a throw-in here for the Panthers. As you see, approaching 2 minutes now here in the second half. Coach Pettigrew now going to the reserves. One player who has remained in the game is Guglielmucci. 2 goals scored on the afternoon.
You know my feeling on that. You have a premier score, it's 1:38 left. I'd have him out of there only because the injury factor. You don't want to see him get taken down. I know they'd like him to get the hat trick and all, but you also want him to play the next game too.
Inside at midfield, good little run here by Justin Lewis. Sent up in the air, trying to find Adam Della Penna. Instead, from the back, E.J. Sanders. Settled by Tony Lacera. Sarah's done a nice job for this Palmyra team. And there you see Guglielmucci and a little bit of frustration. Guglielmucci certainly wears his emotions on his sleeve.
Shows you what kind of player he is. This team is ready for a big win here, and he's unhappy with himself on that one play. You know, he thought he should have done a better job.
There he tried to find a breaking Brian Woods, one of these Palmyra reserves, and Woods found himself offsides. Here's Ambrosius trying to find that elusive goal.
Well, good recovery by Murphy that time, because Ambrosius had a step on him. Murphy just put his foot in the way and got it. And, Palmyra, as the cheering starts, been very, very strong in that back line today.
There's the throw in. And there you see Ambrosius trying to come up with it, and they will simply kick it out of their own end, will Palmyra, and that should do it for this one. As we count down the remaining seconds, Clayton trying to quickly throw it in to create something here before time elapses, but they cannot as time expires. Steve Miller, the goalkeeper of Palmyra, fine job today, guides his Panthers to a 3-0 victory here over Clayton. Mark, a well-played game. Again, something you mentioned before. The score really not an indicator of how close the play was.
No, I think Clayton played very well. Certainly had its opportunities today, and I think the Clippers disappointed here today. But I think when they look at the whole season, Clayton can really hold its head high. Very, very good season. Remember what we said in the beginning of the Open that we did, Rob? Whichever team's premier scorer had the better game, that team would win. Well, Guglielmucci, 2 goals and 1 assist. Pretty emphatic statement today.
Well, he certainly showed that accurate, hard shot that he has. An excellent left foot. And again, they won the balls in the air. Those two factors seem to be the difference here this afternoon. Well, we will be right back right after this with interviews down on the field. Palmyra takes it over Clayton here in the South Jersey Group 1 quarterfinals, 3-0. You're watching Comcast Cablevision, Channel 43. Welcome back to Palmyra High School, Matt Curtis Memorial Stadium, where Palmyra has taken the quarterfinal round over Clayton 3-0 here. The first round of the playoffs. We're here with Coach Mike Pettigrew. And Mike, a good win here for the Palmyra team. I thought that your team played solid defense, and you mentioned to us one of the keys would be winning the ball in the air. They certainly seemed to control play there.
Absolutely, absolutely. Team came out very confident. All year long they've been winning that 50-50 ball. And you can see how powerful we are there on corner kicks and restarts. That's the strength of our team, and we kind of want teams to beat us on that. I mean, that's the only way they're going to beat us, if they beat us in the air.
Well, I thought anytime you get into the playoffs, defense is certainly going to be a key. I thought that your goalkeeper, Steve Miller, certainly did a nice job today. He seemed very poised. Yeah,
Steve came out like everybody else with a lot of confidence. Steve's been playing steady all year long. Had a couple very nice saves today with the ball over the net. That really kept us in the game.
Well, your team created their share of opportunities, seemed very solid in the air, as we mentioned, solid on defense. Wanting to talk about what a game like this does for you going into the playoffs, or going into the next round.
Well, it certainly continues to give us confidence. This is a real big win for the Palmyra soccer program here, and the guys are excited. They're excited, and they should be. They played very hard, really gave it a lot of heart all season long, and they're deserving of this win today.
Well, great job today, Coach. You know, Mark, one of the other factors is certainly the person that's right there on your left, Mike Guglielmucci, who's done a great job throughout the year, did a great job today.
Absolutely. Mike, congratulations with the 2 goals and 1 assist. Talk about the assist, first of all. It looked like we were wondering if it was offsides. He was so wide open. When you see a player that wide open, do you worry, hey, am I going to blow it by not getting it to him?
No, I just try my best to put it there and have confidence in my guys, knowing they'll put the ball in the net if I give it to them right there.
Hey, talk about the one goal where you beat 2 defenders. You go to the short side. It didn't look like you had very much room to shoot that ball.
Yeah, I was just trying my best to hit it towards the goal anyway. Just saw the opening there and just put it there.
Mike, I thought the second goal was a great example of how you shield the ball. It looked like that was the key to it. You shielded that defender, put it to your left, and went for it.
Yeah, I just put it there and took off on the guy and thought I could beat him. Just hit short side again, thinking the goalie was going far side, and I was right on that one.
Hey, tell me how pumped up you are. You know, this team's vastly improved this year. Now you're into the semifinals. How exciting is this to be alive at this point?
Very exciting for us and the team. We've been working hard all season. During the summer, we've been together, and it's helping us out a lot being together. Just moving on good here.
Mike, I thought one of the keys to your team is you're very, very strong up the middle, especially defensively, starting from the back line with Dickinson and moving all the way up. I think teams that are going to play you are going to have to be wary about that. It's very tough to beat you guys, and it's very tough to beat you guys in the air.
We got a strong core, and our guys back there, Kevin, Chris, win a lot of head balls, and our outside fullbacks help us out too very well. And our midfield, Billy Knowles, helps us out a lot too, dispersing the balls to the corners, and does a really good job on that.
Mike, congratulations.
Thank
Best
you.
of luck in the semis now.
Thank you.
Rob, a very impressive performance by the Panthers here, and that gentleman, sometimes these premier players come in with a lot of hype. Well, he certainly lived up to it today.
No question about that. Coming into the playoffs, you certainly need someone to step it up. Guglielmucci did just that. They boast a pretty good combination. You have a potent goal scorer, some solid defensive play.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. Dickinson quarterbacking things from sweeper, Thompson. They are very, very, and teams that are strong up the middle tend to win a lot of games. Palmyra's winning a lot of games.
Well, of course, they won this one today. And, when you go into the playoffs, you feel very uncertain about that first game. It's good to get that one under the belt, Mark.
Yeah, and especially in Group 1 where you win one, you're already into the semifinals. So this is a team that has a lot of confidence. I've seen Haddon Township. If Township beats Point Pleasant Beach, that'll be a very tough challenge. It's a very, very good defensive-oriented team that Mike Green has at Township.
Well, I think certainly one of the strengths of this Palmyra team, as we we've mentioned all game long, was their size, their ability to win balls in the air, and that's something that they're going to have to take advantage of in that next round.
Right, and teams conversely, we were talking to Dan Antonelli after the game. Once Clayton stopped doing that, they moved the ball a little bit better on them.
So we'll see how Palmyra fares in the upcoming rounds. It will certainly be interesting. Should be a good matchup. Should Haddon Township come up with a win over Point Pleasant Borough. For everyone here at Matt Curtis Memorial Stadium at Palmyra High School, again, the final score, it was Palmyra 3, Clayton nothing. Thanks to the crew, thanks to our director, Stan Ritter. Good night, everybody.